Welcome to the second webinar that we're doing. We're now doing these on a weekly basis at this time every Wednesday. There may be one or two that because of some scheduling conflicts that may not take place, but if you've received information about this, I'm sure you're aware that we will be doing this on a continuing basis. We are shortening the format from last week's version. We had great participation in that particular webinar. However, we want to make sure that we're very respectful of your time, and so we're going to do our best to limit these our presentation to 30 minutes. Be more than happy to field any questions that you may have as we go through this, or even once the webinar is over. But we want to make sure that we're doing all we can to bring you up to speed and keep you updated as to what's going on, both in Washington, D.C., as well as here in Lincoln at the state capitol. Very quickly, Steve Nelson will not be able to join us today. He and Jordan Dukes are in Washington, D.C. as we speak. And therefore, I've been doing some business on the federal issues, part of it's related to Farm Bill and other matters, trade issues. I'm sure they're having conversations with our elected representatives in Washington, D.C. They'll be returning back to Nebraska late today, and then we'll see them back in the office tomorrow. But for today's webinar, we're going to focus entirely on some state issues, and even more of a narrow focus is that I'm going to focus on the bills that are in the Revenue Committee that deal with property tax reform. Some of the more notable bills. There are many more bills that were introduced that have some impact on property taxes. However, I chose 7 or 8 to highlight and to talk to you about to make sure that you know what part of the political landscape looks like for property tax reform.